the intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Welcome back, Star Trek Fleet Command fans. Today, I was going to do the arena strategy video, but I'm actually going to save that to get closer to arenas itself with the next one running this upcoming Monday, and decided today I should really talk about what we haven't, which is the Vindicator in terms of sourcing, what it's good for, and thankfully some changes we managed to push forth with feedback before I made this video. That way it's going to be a better video? Maybe, you tell me. But with the Vindicator being the newest special ship currently in the game, I mean, who knows what else could come in the near future? Let's take a look at it. Now, you can enjoy the plugins on the side or the angry vacuum background, but what the Vindicator does, we've kind of covered a little bit. It's made to be a tank in armadas, and that's its primary function. It has a taunt ability, which is neato if you're into that type of mechanic. But how do you upgrade it? How do you get it? Let's start with that. So number one, how do you obtain it? Well, you obtain it through PvP, which is really weird for an armada mechanic, but it is located in your Terran Empire. Now, I talked about the cost here because we did put in some feedback and got this lowered. So this is now $480 for a full pull. Why is that important? Well, when it originally came out, it was twice the cost. So it was $960. That was quite pricey. It wasn't just the fact that it was $960, it was why $960 was important. And this goes back to the actual levels of the Terran Empire. So previously, when it first came out at $960 of full pull, that meant you had to be silver 2 and full pull every day to be able to afford to get both of the Vindicator pulls every day. So this is a Vindicator daily refinery, has a 22-hour cooldown, meaning you can get 2 a day. But when it was at a higher price point, you can only do that if you were a pretty, active competitor in arenas. Now you simply need to be bronze 4, the lowest rank possible. And if you're bronze 4 and doing enough to do your triple pulls, then you can get full Vindicator every day, which means you can unlock it in 100 days. Now, hopefully the next event store, whether it be Christmas or January, whenever that ends up happening, whenever the next event store is, hopefully the Vindicator will be in there. But this was a big change. So now, as long as you're participating in arenas and getting in all of your tokens for your daily pulls, you'll be able to afford the Vindicator. That is the sourcing method. Now, if you have the Vindicator, what that's going to give you is an event on every Thursday to allow you to get the parts to upgrade the Vindicator. How do you do it? Well, the event is called Dimensional Breach. How to do the Dimensional Breach is simple. Do armadas. That's really all you have to do. Now, the Vindicator itself will give you bonus points if you're using the Vindicator, but defeating armadas will score the amount of points that you need. You see, for me, I need to get 37.8K, which means if I simply did one level 60 armada with the Vindicator, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And this can be uncommons, rares, epics. I can do a couple of uncommons by myself solo and complete it. So the Thursday event is not very difficult to manage, and that'll give you the currency you need. If you want to add it up here, you see you get, what, 2,100? Look at that. Mathing out to something easy. 500, 500, that's 1,000. 1,100, that's 2,100. Why is that important? Because if we go into our refinery, we'll talk about the refineries here in a little bit more detail, but in the refineries, they cost 100 of the currency to pull, and there's 3 of them, meaning 7 times 3 is 21. If there's 100 each, that's 2,100. Wow, the math works out. If you do the Thursday event, you can do your pulls every single day for this. Now, are these pulls good? Are they worth it? Are they valuable? Well, I think so. Now, there's a heavy incentive to level up your Vindicator and not leave it low level, as you can see with this one right here. So over on the side of the screen, this is one of the reward boxes that you'll be pulling or, trying to pull from. You see, it gives you the Armada speed ups, which is nice if you've unlocked that favor to speed up your Armadas. It gives you your temporal disruptors, which again is nice if you're trying to get more artifacts and progress through that loop. And then, of course, the upgrade and research materials for the Vindicator itself. We will go over the Vindicator, kind of like timing and pricing, etc. But to give you the short answer on timing for the Vindicator, because here is the main way to upgrade the Vindicators through the strong box, the time to get to tier 2 is 17 days, then 25 days for the next tier, 35 for the next, 43, 45, 47, 51, 50, 48, 47, 45, 31, or 41, 38, reading off a list as an auctioneer. Short answer, it's going to take a long time. How much in total? So far we've mapped it out to get to tier 14 based off just these boxes. It's going to take 531 days. Suffice to say, that needs to be drastically sped up, and I'm very curious to see how that's going to work. But that's to make it to tier 14. That's not even to max it. It has a very, very long upgrade path, reminiscent for some of you players who have done the Discovery or the Devore, those also having very, very long upgrade paths in terms of time. But trade-off, you're getting good rewards. So talking about rewards, how about this one? This is probably the biggest thing I think a lot of people are looking at is the Fleet Commander side of this, because it gives Fleet Commander shards for all the current Fleet Commanders as of the time of this video, and it gives upgrade materials for Sloan and for Lorca. So if you're needing to upgrade either one of those FCs, then you're going to need the Vindicator. Not only to get Lorca free to play, because Lorca is admittedly the best free to play, or well, I guess technically best free to play, but the best FC in the game, and yes, by definition now technically the best free to play FC in the game. If you have him, it can be a tremendous improvement to your overall gameplay, and some of you who've already unlocked him can attest to that. But beyond that, this is actually going to give you the upgrade materials needed. And again, reason to pull this every single day once you've unlocked the Vindicator. The Vindicator does not provide a lot of game-changing ability, as in not a lot of people are out there just using the Vindicator for the heck of it. But the Vindicator does have a good refinery to create stuff like this, and as you can see, it also has one for officers. Now, the officer selection was kind of curious to me at first. I don't think it's a bad selection, but you know, it's officers like Miles O'Brien, Enterprise E Data, Nurse Chapel, which are great. You know, Dejas Tol Ra, huge for Galactic Invasions, which are going on at the time of this video. Those officer pulls are okay. For those curious about the math of the officer pulls, right over there, depending on what level you are, you're getting on average one rare shard and then like half of an epic until you get tiered up to around tier 12. And then you're getting like 2 rares and 1 epic. It's not an amazing sourcing. It is sourcing and it adds to things already in the game, but it's there. It's one of those that I think the first 2 are going to be the most popular. And the third one's, it's there. People will pull it because if you do the Thursday event, you get enough, but it's not exactly an exciting, you know, amount, and you're not jumping up and down for them. But let's get into the actual upgrading of the ship itself. In terms of the currency, like I said, it's going to take time for me to get here. In terms of working on this, it's about 17 days to hit tier 2, and I'll go ahead and hit these because these are commons. It's not that big a deal. We can go ahead and upgrade this. But if you remember, there are also researches tied directly to the Vindicator. We'll take a look at that in a second because this uses the M system right behind me somewhere. There, it's right here, right there. So if you remember, your Stella has an M score. Well, so do you as well with the Vindicator have an M score, which will tell you how far you've progressed with the overall research of this ship. So I'm going to upgrade the cargo bay because why not? You know, let's upgrade how many of these I can. I'm not gonna be able to be, 1 short. So I need to go do my event today, do my pulls, and we'll get it. But if you click on that little button down there, it takes you to the research and you can see what we can work on. We can work on the warp range of the Vindicator. We can work on the taunt damage, the Armada shield repair, the isolated defense protocol, which is for all ships, by the way. That is actually useful and important to take note of. If you come on down, you'll find other things like getting the Vindicator to have more shield health, making it even more tanky, and then further down the road you go, you'll get more things. I do like the isolated damage versus all armadas. That's for all ships, but you do have to progress quite a bit to get there. But again, I think these are quite good. Don't like the graphical errors where it's not showing it on screen. I tried it a couple times and that kept happening. Let me try it one more time for the sake of this video to see if I can get it to work. But I went through multiple records already and I could not get those to display. And there we go. That's the luck of the draw. See, that's why sometimes edited videos are funny and sometimes they're not. Okay, so anyway, here are all of the various Vindicator researches. And again, as you progress through them, you can increase that M score. Maybe that's valuable to you, maybe it's not. Overall, the Vindicator is a ship that I've said it answers a question nobody was asking, doesn't make it a bad ship, simply makes it a unique ship. You know, will you use it? I mean, you'll use it for the event, right? To make sure you score that quickly and finish. But overall, the Vindicator just simply adds more to the game and allows you to source fleet commanders. That's probably the biggest positive for me, is the ability to source more of these guys and gals because you need all of them. And I still don't have 7 of 9, but thanks to the Vindicator, I will get 7 of 9 free to play at some point. I'm at 18 out of 150. So there we are. If you have any other questions about the Vindicator, again, more than happy to talk to you. Just got to reach out. Not enough people. Every time I say this, people, well, I feel like you're busy. People message you all the time. Okay, here's the thing. That's my job. I don't never understand these content creators who don't take the time to talk to everybody. So shoot me a message. I do try to go through the YouTube comments, but the easiest place is either on Facebook, X, or Twitter. And finally, Discord. Hit me up if you have questions and you want to work through some of this. If you're curious in terms of how it works, we've covered that in videos before. It's not hard. You go to Armada, you click the button. Here, you come outside and you'll have your Vindicator button. You can make it taunt you. And the taunt will go up based on the tier of the Vindicator. So if you got a tier 8 Vindicator, the taunt lasts like 30 minutes. If you got tier 1, it lasts 2 minutes, which is fine if you're using Armada speed ups. But you let me know what you think about the Vindicator down below. I think most of y'all are excited about the refinery. And since we got the actual acquisition cost lowered, it is far more feasible for players 40 and above to obtain. Live long and plunder. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next Star Trek Fleet Command video. And hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.